In terms of jobs, I was working at Bunnings as a paint expert, and I had that on my resume. And my boss originally gave me an interview not because I was the best financial planning student, which I was, but because I was a paint expert, as well as a sandwich artist at Subway. So that's why he interviewed me, secured the role, and I was client services for about a year and a half.
Got it. Bring me back to paint expert. So can you look at paint and know the name of it?
Occasionally, yeah. If it's a Dulux colour or a Colorbond colour, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That's mad skills. I like that. Hey there, Phil Thompson here, and we have another interview with our newest financial advisor. We've got Lenny Stoncius.
That's right.
Now, it's Lithuanian.
Yes.
So who's Lithuanian? Where did we get that from?
My grandfather, and I believe he came across on the 5th Fleet or something.
Wow, that is a fun...
Or maybe it was one of the fleets. Yeah. As in, like, it was... during some dark times, actually.
Yes.
Post-World War.
Yeah, wow. So how long have you been here?
It'll be 4 weeks on Monday.
Okay. And talk to me about your career journey up until your moment you joined Skye.
How far are we going back?
I don't know. As far as your career takes you.
Well, I guess that first part of the career is university, right?
Yeah.
And I decided to go into commerce, a bit out of panic, because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and that seemed like it had the biggest variety and you didn't have to commit to a major until like second year. So I thought that was a good start. And then financial planning, didn't know it was a major. I don't think many people do. And I was at Deakin, and one of my lecturers was like, hey, you're actually really animated compared to some of the other students in here. I think you'd actually suit financial planning a bit more than finance. It's very people-based. But it's, still got the finances and the numbers and the problem solving and that sort of thing. And I was like, okay, I figure I could get a better handle on my own personal finances, and jumped in, loved it, and, finished the finance subjects, but then, focused very heavily on the financial planning.
Now, let's move on from uni. But before we do, fun fact about you, and we found out just the other day, you went through Deakin at the same time as Trent.
Yes, yeah,
and
we
did
did
almost all the same classes together.
Yes,
but
except
you
he
didn't know
his.
each other.
No, he did his in the 3 years, and I took 4 and a bit. So
right.
Took it a little bit easier.
Yeah. Well, I think if you ask Trent, he took it easier, but at least it passed.
He did show me his transcript. I go into detail.
And you did better than him.
Yeah.
I like it, and we'll let him know that for the rest of his career. So then, after uni, what did you do?
In terms of jobs, I was working at Bunnings as a paint expert, and I had that on my resume. And my boss originally gave me an interview not because I was the best financial planning student, which I was, but because I was a paint expert, as well as a sandwich artist at Subway. So that's why he interviewed me, secured the role, and I was client services for about a year and a half.
Got it. Bring me back to paint expert. So can you look at a paint and know the name of it?
Occasionally, yeah. If it's a Dulux colour or a Colorbond colour, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That's mad skills. I like that. Even still, or you're getting a bit rusty now?
Yeah, a little bit rusty.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now, so you started working in client services?
Yeah.
And then where did you go from there?
So I stayed in that first company for 3 years. So was client services, but then open plan office, paraplanning was around, and I was like, oh, that seems like a lot of fun. I love that problem solving aspect. I was doing client services and paraplanning at the same time for about a year and a half before I jumped ship. And then, I was sort of doing paraplanning and associates, or it's really hard to tell now, but a fair few years. So I've been in the industry since 2018 now.
Yeah, cool. And so talk about joining Skye. So why did you decide to come and join us at Skye?
Do I go back all the way to 2022?
Well, okay, we can. All right, let's talk about this. So let's start. This is where the spicy question comes from.
I know it would be.
Why did you reject our job offer back in 2022? Because we met each other back then, and I offered you a job, and you said nope.
Yes. Well, it wasn't a hard no, that's for sure.
It was a hard no for me. I'm heartbroken still. No.
Well, and obviously I regret this now,
Of
because
course.
I would have been here, years ago.
Yeah, you have to say that.
But it was because I was scared of pigeonholing myself as an insurance-only advisor, particularly as I still needed to do my professional year and finish that out as well.
Yeah.
So there was some fear that if I did that and found that personal insurance wasn't my lifelong career, would I be able to go back into the holistic space?
Yeah. And that's a reasonable concern. And I remember I looked at my emails yesterday, knowing that we were going to have this chat about like, oh, what was the communication like? What happened? And I remember you saying your mentor told you, nah, don't work at Skye. Don't do that. So are they still your mentor? Or
No, because I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know I never got the name, so I would have called them up and had a go at them. No, but more seriously, now thinking about other people, because we've got people doing their professional year, would that be your advice still to newcomers into the industry? Or do you think it's good in theory, but in reality, it was fine to join a specialist firm?
Well, being here only 4 weeks, but also speaking to those who've, like, you know, Ash and Amy, like those have gone through the professional year, and even just with my onboarding, like you absolutely go through the same learnings in the onboarding and the learning of how to give good advice that you could then apply to other areas of advice. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it was as big of a deal as I thought it was.
Yeah, and that's kind of, you know, I often say this, you know, but I'm conflicted. If we're trying to hire someone, of course I'm going to tell them it's a great place to come, but I often think, you know, 10% of our work is the technical aspects. And if you're not continually learning and growing and upskilling on the technical, you're going to miss out because things change all the time. Legislation changes. So to get back into another area of advice is relatively easy. You just got to spend a bit of time, you know, upskilling technically. It's the 90% of the job, which is client communication, which is, you know, all of that stuff, and seeing clients is kind of, you know, the great thing about being at Skye. And I always, you know, I talk to friends of mine and had a whinge about how sometimes, you know, we're losing, you know, candidates because they want to go holistic. And one of my good friends, he's like, you're an idiot, Phil. You guys are seeing heaps of clients, and that is a huge training, like amazing training ground for new advisors to be able to sit in front of a lot of those clients. So, yeah, I forgive you for rejecting our offer.
But bringing it back in terms of why did I...
Yeah, back to the actual question. Yeah, good. Let's go.
Why did I want to join Skye? So in terms of, I'm a bit of an insurance nerd. That's always what I was at every single firm I've been at. Insurance has been that special interest of mine. And I felt like I didn't want to be a jack of all trades. In the end, I worked that out for myself. I'd really wanted to hone in, and, you know, having met you guys over the years and understanding how you approach advice, and it being, you know, a very relaxed environment with your clients as well, just felt like that was the right move for me. Let's pursue that.
Cool. Well, welcome back. You're not the only person to reject an offer from me and then to come work here. Shout out to Zaria. Peter, can you keep quiet over there, please?
No grudges held.
Yeah, no, I just like mentioning it. I just like letting people know that I don't hold any grudges at all. I just subtly remind people. Anyway, bring us back. I'm just keep derailing this. Next question. You've been here for 4 weeks now. What is the best and the worst thing about working at Skye?
It's absolutely the people. I absolutely just feel like I fit in terms of the humour, the passion and care that we feel for our clients. And, you know, I love playing games on a Friday. I really love that camaraderie aspect. And everybody just feels like we're on that same level. That doesn't feel like that hierarchy. You can just reach out to anybody and they'll just treat you like a really good, like a genuine friend. Yeah.
And you know what? I have friends of mine who tease me all the time about our Friday night games. And I keep saying, no, it's good. It's good for the team and people like it. And they're like, oh, it's so cheesy and stupid, like a 4 p.m. meeting on Friday afternoon. So it's good that you enjoy it, because I love it as well. Have you won any games yet?
No, and okay. Apparently Team Gold has not won at anything at all. So, and we're hosting tonight actually. So
you got put with the duds.
Yeah, the duds.
Oh no,
the duds.
You got put with the duds, and maybe that's a compliment because you're gonna bring them up. Maybe that's why they put you with the duds. I don't know. I've
gotten very close with the music game actually. Yeah,
you were boogieing pretty hard last week. So yeah, and what's the hardest thing about working at Skye? I always like hearing this.
I'm very process driven.
Yeah.
And sometimes I find it difficult to work out the specifics of that process because it might be found in a few different places. And I absolutely acknowledge that because you're a growing business, things grow at different paces, and it's a bit of a beast to take that step back and amalgamate that and make it a bit more streamlined.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can help out there too because I love that side.
You can definitely help out. As many hands up as possible to help build our processes is what we love. So, all right, you talked about your favourite thing is the people. So who's your favourite person here at Skye?
Oh,
And you've got to pick someone.
yeah. Me and Natalia have had a really great chats actually. We're sending
good job.
photos to each other, I'm like in my Oodie and such. And even though she's in New Zealand, it doesn't feel like that at all.
All right, that's good. All right, well done, Nat. You beat me. I am competitive, so I don't like losing, but that's fine. We've spent, this is our second day in the office together, and you're 4 weeks in, so that's okay. I'll try and improve my standing. But now, give me some fun facts about you.
I love video games and I do reformer Pilates.
What's your video game? Are you a console person or are you a computer person?
Was a console person, but
Okay.
now I have my own PC next to my fiance's, and we built it together as well. So
There you go.
So
How
it's
romantic.
It's actually better than his.
Oh, yeah, okay. And do you guys play games together? Or do you get
parallel
annoyed at each
play.
other? Do you get annoyed at each other?
No, so we might play like things like two-player co-op games.
Yeah.
But in terms of, anything competitive, absolutely not.
Why is that? Do you get grumpy at each other? Does
No.
one get too competitive and the other one is like, just chill, it's a game?
No, I'm just not into that sort of thing.
Okay.
I don't play anything online against other people. No.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's good. And other fun facts about yourself?
I love karaoke.
Yeah.
Specifically SingStar though, so just because you can have a score, so that means I can win.
Yeah, okay, good. I like it. Yeah, so you did tell us, we came back from the Philippines and we did karaoke, we did it 3 times, and then you were like, and I said, are you into karaoke? And you're like, oh, a little bit. At my 29th birthday party, we had SingStar. And I was like, all right, you're our people. So that's good. And I did say we've got to bring it in, but it got all too complicated for me.
I'll work it out.
All right, Lenny, before we finish up, thank you very much for coming down. I know you're a little bit nervous, but before we finish, one of the great things about being an advisor is you get to do deep dives. The best thing about it is you get to pick the topic. So have you thought about what type of a topic you might do? Anything that's super interesting to you about insurance?
Zurich recently, or maybe about a year ago now, released their cost of care 2, and it talks about, what are the known and unknown upfront and lifetime costs associated with different conditions, and I'm really interested in going that next level and talking about maybe some of the other indirect costs, particularly for women, when it comes to being diagnosed with certain conditions.
Love it. So that cost of care paper is probably 120 pages. So this deep dive is going to be 4.5 hours, which I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, that'd be a great topic. We do love reading the cost of care, and I worked actually with Zurich a little bit. I wanted to get some stuff in the cost of care that they didn't do, but we can talk about it in our deep dive.
Maybe in the third one.
Yeah, maybe in the third one. All right, well, thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Lenny, for joining me. If you are interested in watching any other interviews with any of our team, there's a list on the screen right now. Thanks heaps for watching.
Keep going.
Keep going.
I'll tell you when to stop. Keep going.